Okay, guys, tonight we're going to talk about Bitcoin and why I think Bitcoin is going to become one of the rarest cryptocurrencies out there and one of the hardest to get, and people will pay in the near future. I predict they will pay about any price just to get Bitcoin. So this will be a multi-video series. This will not be all concluded in this one. I will add on to this as I produce more and more data, because it's not just one fact that's going to drive the price up. I think there's a multitude of prices, and I'll go into that as we go through this. So watch and enjoy. If you like this video, please click the like button below. If you like this video channel, please click the subscribe button, and that will help bring this channel up so more and more people can see it and learn more and more about Bitcoin. With that, let's get right into this. Well, with Bitcoin only having 21 million coins, you know the supply and where it's going to be, and that will determine pretty much its future, because I think, as we will point out in future videos, I'll kind of break down the status of a lot of these coins and where they're at. But just to say that gold and silver really can't say that they're a defined commodity. All the gold and silver guys I know will disagree with me. They say it's a defined resource and there's no more gold in the world. But who knows, if they go find some boat or ship or something that's sunk out in the Atlantic and it's got this hoard of gold, or say a meteorite or something lands on Earth and it's got a ton of gold or silver in it, on it, whatever, and there was no documentation of this, that could, distort the facts of how much gold and silver there is in the world. So Bitcoin is definitely a decentralized coin, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I think it's going to make it one of the rarest and hardest to get in the future, because it has no boss, it has no CEO. You can't call anybody and shut it down. You can't go to any one person and hold them hostage and have them turn over all their Bitcoin. So decentralization, I think, is one of the most important things of any cryptocurrency that you would ever get involved with. Again, I will always tell you, you need to go do your own research. You need to go out and do all of this research yourself. Don't rely on anybody else to do the research. Don't assume I am correct. Don't necessarily listen to me. This is not necessarily trading. This is not trading advice, and this is not a recommendation to buy or sell. So go out and do your own research so that you make sure you understand what you're getting involved with. And like I said, Bitcoin is a free software project with no central authority, thus no one is in charge, and you aren't going to be able to get anybody to surrender all these Bitcoins, and I think that that will make it one of the primary drivers to make this product so valuable here in the near future. Now, in order to get involved with about any other cryptocurrency out there today, you basically need to go out and you need to purchase Bitcoin. You can do it with a few others, but Bitcoin is basically the driver. You can go to about any exchange in the world and use Bitcoin and buy any other of these cryptocurrencies that are available to anybody else in the world. And you can trade your Bitcoin for any of these other ones, most of which I would classify are junk. I wouldn't invest in them. So again, go do your own research and you make your own decision to see which ones you think are the ones that are going to survive and the ones that aren't. I predict probably in the next several years there's going to be a lot of these that are on this list today that won't even exist because they don't have a good business model. One, a lot of them aren't even decentralized. And like I said in the previous segment, if you're getting involved with a coin that's not even decentralized, then you've got a problem, because then somebody can come in there and they can shut them down, or they can hold them accountable for something and make them surrender all their coins, etc., etc. So, like I say, make sure you're doing your homework and make sure you understand what you're getting involved with before you invest in these cryptocurrencies. Yes, Bitcoin is currently priced at $3,600, which I think at this point in life, I think that's pretty good deal, but again, this is not trading advice, so It may go down from here. I'm hearing a lot of reports of people saying, even I think it'll probably drop a little lower from here. But here again, now I'm hearing some new reports saying that the bottom is in and it's only going to go up and on from here. So who knows? Nobody knows. We're just going to play. That's why I'm more in the camp of just hodling and holding on. I don't believe in trading this stuff. I think it's going to be way too valuable one of these days to take a chance on not having it. So make your own decisions and get informed. Here's another reason why I think Bitcoin is going to become very valuable. The network effect. Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency that started all of this. Bitcoin is also the one that has a cap amount of 21 million coins. That's one of the lower amounts of coins that is out there. The network effect is kind of driving a lot of the business at this point because Bitcoin has already seeded its way through the world, and basically anybody you talk to on the street today, they'll at least have heard of the word Bitcoin. Now you walk up to them and ask them about Ripple, XRP, Ethereum, or some of the others, they may not have any clue what you're talking about, and they may look at you strange, like you have no clue what you're talking about. But Bitcoin has definitely had the network effect throughout the world. Everybody's at least heard of it. Now, not everybody's invested in it. I will get you that, but at least everybody has at least heard of it, or probably 95% of all the people have heard of it. They've at least heard of it. They may not know anything about it, but so the next wave of things is the big money is starting to come into this market. There's growing forces that are trying to get into this community, and the big money is coming in. Here's an article from Novogratz. He's pretty well respected in the financial world from what I understand. So if you're interested, go read this article on Reuters and you can see what he has to say about it. But coming back over here to the big money is coming in. Have you heard of the Intercontinental Exchange? It's called ICE. The ICE Exchange, they are creating a new service. It's called BAC, and that's going to be the trading platform for where a lot of these digital assets are going, and they're going to start moving some bigger money into cryptocurrencies here in the near future. None of this has been formalized yet. The dates keep getting pushed back. Originally it was supposed to come in, I think, around December 13th. It's now been pushed out to sometime here in January. I think it's any day now in January. So Fidelity is also looking at getting into this digital currency space. And if you look at the numbers by Fidelity, just look at this. $6.9 trillion worth of customer assets under management right now. That's a lot of money. And they currently have 27 million customers. So if these two players get involved and backed for one, they aren't going to be settling in paper derivatives. They are going to be buying the actual Bitcoin itself and doing a blockchain transaction. So that means that actually they have to purchase the actual coins. They can't just do a paper contract saying, we'll owe you the coins some date in the future and never really buy them like every exchange in the world is doing right now. Unless you physically take your coins off of the exchange right now, that's basically what they're doing. They're selling you a promise that they'll give them to you someday later. And if something were to happen today or tomorrow with that exchange, you might be out of luck. You may not ever even get your coins. That's what happened on the Mt. Gox deal. All those people had all their Bitcoins on the Mt. Gox exchange back in 2011, I believe. And they had all their coins on there, and then one day they said they got hacked. Well, they really didn't get hacked. They just had so many withdrawals all hit them at the same time. They didn't have the coins on their Mt. Gox exchange, and too many people were pulling them off, and thus they had to shut down. And rather than come clean and say that they didn't have the coins, they just said they got hacked. So again, if you haven't heard of the movement called Proof of Keys, this is the statement for that. Make sure you get your monies off of the exchanges And that means like Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, Bittrex, any of the exchanges. Don't leave your coins on there, because if something were to happen and you needed to get them off, there's no guarantee you're going to be able to get them off, especially if you have a large amount sitting over there. But if you've got them in your own wallet and you secure them with your own private keys, like I teach in my course, you're going to be in good shape. So if you don't know how to do a lot of this stuff, hit the link down below this, sign up for the free emails, and I'll start helping you get educated on all of this. Because as I say, it was pretty difficult when I got started. I didn't understand a lot of this stuff, and I found it was very hard to find out decent information out there. Of course, a lot of things have improved since then, so I'll help you guys out and help you at least hopefully get started on the right path to helping you guys secure yourself and getting your wallet set up the proper way so that they don't get hacked, and hopefully you don't have anything get compromised if you do them the proper way. And there's a lot of steps involved to get stuff set up the proper way. So this is your financial security, people. If you aren't taking it serious and you don't double check everything and triple check everything, then you're the one that risks losing their money, because these assets, like I'm pointing out over this video series, are going to become, in my opinion, extremely valuable in the future. Here is how a lot of people that have a lot of money, they're called whales, are trying to get into Bitcoin right now. They're using what's called OTC, or over-the-counter trades, because they're trying to get into the Bitcoin market without having all of what they call slippage. They don't want to pay all the fees, and they don't want to pay all of the transaction costs to move their $5 or $6 million. I heard one the other day wanted to move $1 billion into Bitcoin. If he tried to do that through an exchange, first they wouldn't allow him, because they don't have that many cryptos on their exchange. And then two, the fees for that would be insane, how much he'd have to pay, or how much slippage they'd have on what he'd try and do to move it over. So these guys are moving over to an over-the-counter type market, which is more of a Bitcoin type market, where it's peer-to-peer. You're meeting with a person, or you're doing the trade one-on-one with another individual, so that you get the Bitcoins, so that you don't have all of this slippage. And then that way they can do it one-on-one, and then it never even hits the exchanges. The exchanges don't even know about it. The trade has happened, and everybody moves on. So and my final point for this video is the amount of growth in the blockchain jobs are just insane, and they are paying much better than the average Joe out there and getting started in the employment world. Notice this, that they're basically ranging from a low of 50 to a high of basically 100K. And it looks like blockchains are in the median, so they're somewhere around the 84 level, and the U.S. median is 52. So another reason I don't think any of this stuff in the cryptocurrency world, despite all of my high-paid friends are thinking that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are not going to be around for long. I think this industry is here to stay. If anybody's been around for a while and you saw what happened to the music industry, they had a captive market. They had all of that music, and they could sell us CDs and record albums all at whatever prices they wanted, because they were the only game in town, and each label had a certain number of artists, and they were selling that stuff whatever they wanted, however they wanted, and they'd put one song on there you wanted, but you had to buy the whole album. And then Napster came along and kind of blew apart their whole business model. And then next thing they know, they went out and they shut Napster down, because here again, it was a centralized service, so it's pretty easy to shut down a centralized service. Well, then it wasn't long right after that, BitTorrent came around the block and totally blew that model out of the water, because now all over the world this music was being stored on individual computers, and anytime somebody wanted to share it, they'd just hop on their computer and share it with somebody. And it wasn't long after that the music industry succumbed to letting us buy songs as we want them, buy the individual song or the whole album if we so choose. So I think the tide is turning. I think this will be a revolution in the finance world that will go on for many, many years. I bet this will go on probably for at least 100 years. The paper money system we currently have today generally only lasts about 70 years, and we're pushing the boundaries right now for that. It's actually a little bit past that since the 30s. So anyway, check me out on the next video. Look for it in the next several days. I'll try and have another one up, continuing on with my reasonings why I think Bitcoin will become extremely scarce in the world. So signing off for now. Easy cryptocurrency here. Bitcoin Charlie. See ya.